So, Millie May,
Yep.
thank you ever so much for coming to, and I keep saying this, I know it's going to become a real cliche. No idea what this show is called or what it is, but I've been interviewing local Birmingham musicians and one comedian. So yeah, thanks ever so much for coming along.
That's okay.
And so yeah, Millie May, you're a musician.
Yep.
How's it going?
It's going well. I'm pretty busy at the moment. Doing a lot of songwriting, gigging, everything really. Got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. So what was your last gig?
Last gig was I did an open mic on Tuesday at Muso Tuesdays, which was good. My last gig was on Sunday. I supported Ashley from the Twang, which was good.
Oh wow! What was that like?
I've done it a couple of times. He has a slot every third Sunday of the month at the Actress and Bishop, so it's the third time I've supported him now, but it's good.
That's a really good slot to get. Ash is amazing, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
I think he might be the best drummer I've ever seen.
I know, he plays a little bit of everything, so
It's pretty crazy.
yeah.
And he does this thing where, I don't know if he does it in his show, but I've seen like a really good documentary was made about Ash actually.
Okay.
And in it he plays the drums with his ear.
Really?
He does this thing where he's got a drumstick coming off this ear, and it's obviously, you just make it bounce off the snare, and he kind of bounces it off another stick, and it's just, he's one of these guys who's just been drumming since he was tiny, and it's so instinctive for him.
Yeah.
So what's his show like?
Oh, it's really good. I didn't manage to stick around for the whole of it, but yeah, he kind of, there was some guy upstairs who was, I think, an ex-member of the Kaiser Chiefs, so he came down and played a track with him, and he just kind of went mental and played the trumpet and drums and a bit of everything really, so yeah, it was really good.
And that's really cool because it's downstairs in the Actress and Bishop, right?
Yeah, it's downstairs, so when I was playing there were the Kaiser Chief guy upstairs, so you could hear like music downstairs, but yeah, it was a good night.
Yeah, because my experience of playing the Actress and Bishop, for ages we were like, we've got to play the Actress and Bishop, and then we did, and we were upstairs, and we've had some good gigs there, and we've had some good crowds, but there was that sort of feeling at 11 o'clock, you're taking all your kit downstairs, and the downstairs is just filling up, and there's hundreds of people there, and you think, "Aww."
Well, people don't want to pay to get upstairs, do they?
So that's a really cool thing. So what time do you go on at that gig?
Well, Sunday I went on at 9:30, so I was just before Ash. But the other times I've started it most times.
That's really good, going on at 9:30. So there's probably a pretty decent crowd there.
Yeah, it was pretty busy in there. So.
And you mentioned Muso Tuesday as well, so
Yeah.
I'm going to do a big shout out to Sophia. So yeah, Sue runs that, and I think you met Sue for the first time there.
Yeah, she's lovely.
Yeah, cool.
It was a good night. Everyone kind of listened, which was a nice atmosphere.
Yeah. We did actually. You've just reminded me. We did a gig, and I can't remember, something studios over in Stourbridge, and we want to do. Stourbridge is a good place to play, you know.
Oh, I've got a gig booked for May.
Oh, cool.
It's at Katie's Fest.
Oh yes, I heard about that. Katie Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
We did this. There's a recording studio or a rehearsal studio that has this room, and it's ever so cool because it was just like, they were selling beer out of a fridge, and it was just like kind of informal. But we never played anywhere where like everyone just sat quietly and listened all night, and it was lovely. It's nice that.
Yeah, it is nice. A lot of the time you just get people going about their business and chattering and stuff, so it's nice when people actually listen.
Yeah. It's probably a good time to mention that you very kindly came over to my open mic.
I did, yeah.
And it was a very quiet night, and I didn't have my house band there that night. It was a shame because you could have met those guys, and obviously it's nice to have lots of other musicians. And it was a bit of a quiet night, and you just had the five guys at the bar, and they were just chatting away, and we were talking about this earlier. It's kind of one of those experiences that you have to kind of get used to, isn't it?
Yeah. I've had a lot of gigs like that anyway, so it just kind of depends on what night you play, really.
Yeah. And you were great because you were just like, hey, I just got all this stuff I want to practice, so I'm just going to play. So that I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we originally met at a catapult club at the Castle and Falcon in Moseley.
Yeah. That was when I first moved to Birmingham.
Oh really? You'd only just moved here?
Yeah, it was about, I'd probably been there about 4 months, so I was just kind of getting used to where everything was. But yeah, it was a nice venue.
It was cool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was almost like it was too cool. They had like a fantastic stage and a brilliant sound system, and they had with the Catapult Club, the sound guys are always sound.
Yeah, they're really good.
And he was really nice, and he told Simon, our guitarist, you need to replace your batteries in your guitar, and it was sounding awful, and he
Oh, I
replaced the
think I
batteries.
remember that, yeah.
And this happens all the time.
Didn't
and
you have to borrow somebody else's guitar in the end?
I think he probably
Yeah.
did, yeah. And he's always like, oh, my battery's flat, has anybody got any batteries? But they're quite expensive, those 9-volt batteries, aren't they?
They
They're not
are,
cheap.
they're about £10 sometimes. So. Mine's lasted me ages though.
Oh, that's good. You have quite a distinctive guitar, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Pink. Is it pink? Yeah.
Yes.
It's very cool. And you've been doing lots of YouTube videos recently, so we'll make sure that... So how would people find you on YouTube?
Just searching for Millie May music normally works.
And that works. That's good. You've got that consistent across your Instagram's definitely Millie May
Yeah,
music.
so it's
isn't it?
all Millie May music, so consistent.
Excellent. And how's the whole YouTube thing going for you?
It's going alright. I've only just started uploading videos every week really. Before that I'd just been kind of putting off odd bits. I didn't really see the importance of YouTube, but I've started kind of keeping with the same background and everything, and I've got a new Canon DSLR, so getting better quality videos and properly editing them and everything. So yeah, I've been uploading one every week on every Tuesday. I'll probably start doing it a bit more frequently when uni's not so busy, but yeah, it seems to be going well. I'm getting quite a few views.
Yeah. Yeah, YouTube's a funny old place. It's like the views can be very volatile. They're not, the number of views you get on a video is not necessarily linked to how many subscribers you've got.
No.
But I've definitely found, I think you're onto the right track there, because I've had a YouTube channel for nearly 10 years. And for the last 5 years it was kind of monetized. I was in the partner program, but I was working all the time. I wasn't making YouTube videos. And I just sort of organically got to about 60 or 70 subscribers. And since December, by uploading regularly, that's just grown like crazy. And I think I'm nearly at 400 subscribers now.
Oh, really? That's good.
Yeah.
Oh well, nowhere near that, but...
But the thing is that my channel's all over the place, and it's kind of like, I think yours is great because it's very consistent. People know what they're going to get. They're going to get, Millie May, pink guitar, acoustic, original, or covers. You do quite a lot of covers, don't you?
I've started off with covers at the moment, but I put up a few live videos of my own songs. I'll probably start adding originals in soon, but I was just trying to sort of get a bit more publicity at the moment, really.
Yes, I did notice that. I'd seen a lot of covers.
Yeah.
What songs have you covered?
On there I've done Skinny Love, which was the one I uploaded recently. Done Make You Feel My Love, You Do Something to Me, the Paul Weller one, and Ain't No Sunshine.
Oh yeah, which is brilliant. One of my favourite songs. That's really cool. Yeah, that's a good way to start, isn't it? I'm quite excited about it. I mean, I follow you anyway, and I think I've clicked the bell, so I see your notifications every time you upload. But yeah, I'm quite excited about you uploading one of your original ones.
Yeah, I will do.
Okay, so we've done your socials and your YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about your last gig and that you've been to Muso Chuzo. What gigs have you got coming up?
So I've got the Katie's Fest one in May.
Yep.
I haven't got any others booked at the moment. I am in the process of booking a women's gig, but that's not for definite yet. But yeah, at the moment I'm just kind of just trying to sort of try out open mic nights and things like that.
Yeah.
Just kind of, because I've been so busy at the moment, I didn't want to like commit to anything. In a couple of weeks I'm going to start booking again.
Yeah. I do this, I've been doing some music recently with somebody called Lady MJ Warrior, who's like an MC.
Okay.
And she's a really good singer as well, actually. She's a singer, a rapper, and an all-round personality. And I've been noticing a lot about a venue called RJZ Jazz Cafe.
Oh, I have played there.
You've played there?
Yeah, it was good.
What was your gig like there?
It was quite busy. It was a really nice venue.
It's fab, isn't it?
Yeah. There were 3 acts on that night.
Yeah.
So I was second, and then the other 2. There was like another solo artist like me.
Yeah.
And then a band playing, which is good.
It says Jazz Cafe, but the night we went, it was all very urban. It was very kind of hip hop and rap. And
Yeah, the one I went to, it was more like sort of acoustic rock, really.
Yeah?
So, yeah.
Oh, cool! I'm glad to hear that, because that means like I hopefully get bang for the gig there. Because I just thought, what a cool venue!
Yeah,
it's so
it's
cool,
really
isn't it?
nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were just talking about RJJZ, and you've had 1 gig there.
Yeah, I think I've done 2 actually.
You've done a couple.
Yeah, I think so.
You definitely keep yourself really busy.
I know, I've done a lot of gigs since I moved here. So.
And do you have like a list somewhere that says here are all the different gigs that I've done?
Yeah, so on my Facebook page and on the pin a post to the beginning and say upcoming gigs and have everything listed.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
And I've been, because it's funny how all the social media things, everything kind of disappears very quickly, and it's like, when you're like, oh, let me go and find that picture, and it's like really hard to find, isn't it? Well, let me find that post, and it's like, so I've got like a website for the band, and on there I make sure that every time we play somewhere I put it on there, and it's mad when you look back, and we don't play very often, but we've been together for over 5 years, and it's just this really long list of all these places. It's quite cool.
Yeah, I'm thinking of getting a website sorted.
Yeah.
So.
Do you know how you're going to approach that?
Yeah, well, I'm lucky because my boyfriend's a software developer, so
Yes,
he can...
so it'll be like done.
Yeah.
No worries. Oh, that's cool. And you're studying at the moment?
I am, yeah. It's at ACM. It was AMS. It's just changed. It's like a little music academy in Snow Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good there. Since we've moved over to ACM, they've brought in a new thing where you have this thing called ADCO. So I've got to like speak to a lot of people in the industry, and they kind of help you develop your act, which is good.
ADCO?
Yeah.
What does that stand for?
I'm not actually sure, to be honest.
I was going to test you on ACM as well. I reckon you know that, don't you?
ACM, Academy of Contemporary Music.
Oh, right.
Yeah. The other ones are in London, but they've just kind of started with the Birmingham branch, which is good.
Fantastic. So what's your background? Where are you from? And
So I'm from Shropshire originally. So I played a lot in Shrewsbury to start off with. And then I started at AMS last September.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, a couple of Septembers ago. Been there 2 years. And I was kind of travelling up every day then. It was just a bit too much, so I decided to move to Birmingham. Moved here last May. And then since then I've been just really busy with gigging or taking any opportunity really.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's absolutely true. I've because obviously I can't remember exactly when we met, but it was shortly after that, wasn't it? Because you said it wasn't long after you'd come to Birmingham, and so I think I've been following you on the social medias since then. And
I think it was in like September or something.
And you really do keep yourself busy. It's great. Good. It's a good attitude to have, isn't it? I think it's the only way to learn music. It's obviously there's the technical stuff and there's the rehearsals and all that's important, but being out in front of an audience is just way more important than all of
Well, I
that.
really enjoy it anyway. I've always has been. So
Yeah.
yeah. I used to just play a lot of open mics and stuff in Shrewsbury, and I kind of wanted to take it further.
Yeah.
So.
Who's your musical hero?
John Lennon or David Bowie.
Okay. And would you cite those as obviously like key influences in the music that you write?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
John Lennon kind of started it off for me.
Yeah.
I remember because when I was a kid, I used to listen to, anything that was in the charts really, or my friends listened to pop and stuff, so I used to just listen to that. But I was homeschooled for a little bit, so I kind of lost touch with my friends, and kind of went my own way. And I remember kind of getting into music then. I got into the band the Fratellis, and I noticed they said their influences were the Beatles and like Bob Dylan and people like that. And I was going through like my mum's old record collection, and she had like A Hard Day's Night from the Beatles, so I thought, oh, I'll give it a listen. And then I just like fell in love with it straight away. I went a bit obsessive and bought every album of theirs, including all the John Lennon ones. And I think, especially with John Lennon, I really loved his songwriting, and the way he kind of played on words and things. And shortly after that, I wanted to learn guitar, so I went and got some guitar lessons. And then I think as soon as I kind of picked that up, I then started like playing around with poems and stuff and trying to fit it to the guitar music, and yeah, it just kind of went on from there really.
Wow. How old were you at this point?
I was 14. Yeah.
It's amazing that we have like a generation now that can sort of discover the Beatles at that age, because it feels to me like the Beatles were there from the age of 2.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're just there constantly. But what a wonderful thing that must be to go and discover them at sort of 14 and then just go and get that whole collection.
Yeah, I really, because I went up to Liverpool and the Cavern and everything quite a few times as well. And it's really nice that it kind of links everyone, like everyone from around the world goes there, and you get like people who are like 14, and then you get people who are like 80, and it's just a really nice mix.
Yeah, I've had a couple of nights out on Matthew Street, where the new, because it's not the Cavern, is it? It's not the original.
The real Cavern, no, they knocked that down.
Where I used to work, the Royal Insurance have this huge head office in Liverpool, and they're like sort of it's quite close to the Liver building and all that sort of quite an iconic area.
It's a nice area.
Yeah, it's quite cool. And I had an experience in Liverpool once that I thought all Americans probably think Liverpool's just like this. I was at Lime Street Station, and I was queuing for a cash point. The Beatles were playing in the railway station, not the actual Beatles, but music. And there were these 2 girls in the queue behind me, and they started singing along to the Beatles, and I thought, I must be in Liverpool. So yeah. That's really cool. So your influences, you've got the Beatles, and you've got John Lennon, obviously, who was a Beatle, and David Bowie, and you also mentioned Bob Dylan there as well.
And then of course there's like Amy Winehouse.
I was going to mention Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, everyone says I look like Amy Winehouse. I get that a lot. And then Lana Del Rey.
Oh my god, I love Lana Del Rey. What's that one? Where she's got a lyric about it's Ride. Do you know Ride?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I think we heard that on a jukebox in Greece about 5 years ago, and I'm going to listen to that song later. So I need to get a load more of her stuff. Is our whole collection really good?
Yeah, I'd say her third album's not my favourite. I find it a bit samey because she's got about 14 tracks on there, and they're all very similar.
Right.
But she's got a Honeymoon on there, which I really like.
Honeymoon.
Yeah. But I'd say her first one's my favourite.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's how I kind of got into her. Listening to video games. I've done a cover of that on YouTube as well.
Oh,
I
cool.
love that one. But yeah, probably the first one's my favourite.
Yeah.
Or the fourth one, the one she just released.
Oh, so she's just released a good one.
Yeah, that's good.
I had this problem where my iPad was full for ages, so I stopped buying music, and I've got loads of. I've actually got some iTunes money, so I've freed up some space. So I'll treat myself to that later. Thank you for the recommendation. Cool. So we talked about your studying and that. We talked a little bit about the Catapult Club. You're still with the Catapult Club, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm still kind of on there.
How's that going?
Good. I've done about I think 3 or 4 gigs with them. Did one at the Actress recently.
Yeah.
And I've done one at the Flapper with them in the Castle and Falcon, obviously. I think I've done another somewhere. Hard to keep track.
Actually, I like. I've got little themes that have started to emerge from these discussions, and I'm sure there's one. We talked about the Roadhouse a couple of times in different interviews and how it's closed. And
I've never done that one. Is it still open?
It's not still
It's
open,
not,
so
okay.
I'm sorry, you're never going to do the
Oh.
Roadhouse. Now down the road from the Roadhouse, there's a place called the Tower of Song.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I would so strongly recommend that.
Okay.
It's such a cool. If you can have a look on YouTube and stuff, but it's a tiny little place. It's not much bigger than this kitchen, and they've got all these paintings of like artists, and there's just like Jimi Hendrix and people like that. And I'm thinking of Jim Morrison, maybe not. And it's just it's a venue that is just a venue. It's a guy who's really into music who just set up a place for musicians to play at.
Okay.
So I think you go down there really well. So
Yeah, you have to jot it down for me and I'll
yeah, no
check
worries.
it out.
I'll link you to it. It's really good actually, because when I go back and when I edit this, it reminds me, and I'll make a list and I'll do things. So, but yeah, venues. Birmingham losing venues. So the Flapper. That's another
Flapper.
thing.
Yeah.
That's really sad, isn't it?
I know, because I've played that 3 times I think, but it is really nice. I
Yeah.
don't know how long it's been there, but
And I think it's really sad when stuff like this happens, because it's not what the people want. The people do not want yet another faceless
no.
block of flats.
It
People
was
want
in
the
a really
Flapper.
nice area, and you had the canal over, and
Yeah,
it was always busy. It's a shame.
yeah. So, cool. Now, I think that you're recording at the moment.
Yeah, so I'm planning on releasing an EP. What I'm thinking of doing is releasing an acoustic EP, because that's kind of how people know me. So I've got 4 songs recorded for that, which I've already done. I'm just kind of in the process of kind of getting the artwork and like.
So you've done an acoustic EP.
Yes.
What songs are on there? Can you reveal?
Okay, so there's Millionaire, which will be the title track.
Mm-hmm.
Songbird, Tonight, and December.
Mm-hmm. So Millionaire, what's that about?
So Millionaire's basically about, it's kind of a metaphor. So I'm basically saying that I don't need money because I've got love. But it's all kind of lyrically written like around money and that kind of thing.
I like the sound of that.
I think I played that at the Castle and Falcon, but I
Oh.
probably don't remember it.
So if I wanted to go and find that song, could I find it online and see?
Yeah, so I
see
put it on Soundcloud.
SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Millie May Music.
Millie May Music again.
You're very consistent with that. That's supposed to be a really good thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a lot easier than putting different names on different things.
Yeah.
Luckily I managed to get that on everything.
Oh, that's really good. So maybe we talk about what's the second song on the EP?
Second song will be Tonight.
What's that about?
Like, that's about another love song really. And then I've got Songbird, which that one I wrote when I was about 18. At the time I was suffering with a bit of depression. So it's basically about kind of wanting to fly away to a different, happier place in your life. Yeah, and that one was played on the radio recently as well, on Switch Radio. I was made in Brom's Track of the Week, which was pretty good.
Oh, wow, congratulations. And that's Songbird?
Songbird, yeah.
And that's something that you wrote when you were 18?
Yeah.
I think this is great actually. Let's, if you don't mind, can we talk about the meaning behind the fourth one as well? Because I think it'd be really nice for people if they've seen this interview, you know, to then go and like listen to the songs.
So the fourth one was December. That was again about a hard time with a difficult relationship, and it happened around Christmas time. So that's basically what that was about.
And this is the EP that you're currently basically just getting the artwork together. You've recorded it.
Yeah. So I need to. I should have a photo shoot booked soon. So.
Oh wow.
Trying to arrange that, and then I'll get the photos for it. And then I'm also working on getting a logo sorted because I haven't got one of them yet. So.
That's really cool. Who do you go to for something like that?
So I've got a friend who's a photographer, so she does. I've got a photo shoot already up online. She did that one for me, and we're going to plan another one soon. But she's really good. And then logos, I'm just kind of asking around at the moment, really.
And how did you record the EP?
The EP was with another friend who's a producer.
Yeah.
Called Niven Smith. He's really good. He goes to my uni as well, so that's how I met.
Cool. And basically acoustic guitar into a mic, into a desk, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's just a kind of basic one, but that's kind of how people know me at the moment, just the acoustic side. But yeah, I'm also working with a different producer on another EP which will be released in the winter. And that's all going to be properly arranged. But yeah, we're sort of playing around with different instrumentation at the moment.
Cool. Oh, that's really cool. And something else that you've mentioned, and it'd be nice to do, so we've done a shout out to Sophia, so I'll send her a link to this interview. But you also mentioned Louise Woodley to me earlier.
Yeah.
And so I think you've done quite a lot with Louise.
Yeah, she's helped me out a lot. She works on Made in Brom Switch Radio, so that's how I became Track of the Week. But yeah, she's helped me get a few gigs. The one with Ash, she got me. She works at Dare's Bar and puts on quite a few gigs there, so I've done a few there with her. So yeah, she's been a good help.
That's cool. And I think you also mentioned Mimi Detroit as well?
Yeah, so Louise has introduced me to Mimi Detroit. She's working on an indie film at the moment. So on Monday I'm going into the studio to record a track for that. Should be good. It's all kind of in work in progress at the moment, so I can't really say much about it. But
yeah. But these are the things, aren't they, that, you know, presumably with this film it'll be in cinemas, or do you know where it's going to be?
I'm not sure, to be honest. It's a kind of low indie film, so I'm not sure where it's going to go at the moment, but work in progress.
But yeah, it means people will get to hear your music, and presumably they'll see you in the credits as well.
Yeah,
so you just never know what will come from it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. Well, I think we're gonna probably wrap it up in this bit.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to check with you. I think we've been through all your social media and all that stuff, Millie May Music. Is there anything else that you particularly wanted to talk about?
I'm not sure. I think I've kind of been through everything now.
Cool. Well, thank you ever so much for coming along.
That's okay.
And hopefully we'll probably be seeing each other out on the circuit and all that.
Yeah,
and I'll definitely come and see.
I'll come down to the open mic again.
Thank you. That'd be great. I will let you know when we've got a really good night lined up. And so, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Cheers.
alright.